Basically today I wanted to talk primarily about the Renew Newcastle project and how that came about, and then talk a little bit at the end about some of the strategies we've used and how that might be a model. I'm very happy to answer any questions that people might have along the way, but I thought I'd start with just a video. This is from the ABC New South Wales State Line program, which gives you a bit of an overview of what we've been doing in Newcastle. Probably in some ways explains it better.
Around the state. Empty shops and businesses closed and boarded up, lingering reminders of the passing parade of economic activity that has seen a lot of business activity migrate from the main street to shopping malls built further away from the centre of communities. Newcastle is a typical case, with an estimated 150 empty shops and businesses in and around the city's CBD. But now a new project called Renew Newcastle has been turning that around. You could say that it's recycled, reinvigorated, revived, revitalised, recreated, and reimagined the city.
Perhaps a fair bit worse off than Cairns is, although obviously there are a few empty buildings in Cairns, but there's a worst case, nightmare future scenario there that you can kind of see, give you an idea. Renew Newcastle was established in late 2008, and the idea of it was basically to revitalise Newcastle through creative activity, basically by taking empty spaces and turning them around into something interesting that people would engage with and be attracted to, rather than a liability on the city. We've launched more than 50 projects and enterprises since February 2008. The project has literally only been going for about 18 months, so we've done an awful lot very quickly. And to give you an idea, a short version is that we work directly with the property owners. We aren't the council in our case. We have to convince property owners to be part of it. We do have a good relationship, as it seems. We have here with the Chamber of Commerce, the local business traders group, and others that have helped us access the spaces. It's very important that the people that we put into the spaces aren't competing with existing businesses in the city. That's one of the main criteria. You're not subsidising you to open shops next to shops that are already doing it tough, selling the same stuff. In our case, we involve the property owners in the selection of the projects. We try to match spaces to uses rather than find spaces for uses. So if a building's already got an approval for something and it can easily be turned into something, we do that rather than taking the best. In some cases, we've had the best art project ideas in the world and not done them because we don't have spaces that are easy to convert into that. We involve the owners in selecting. We have this 30-day rolling basis as our standard agreement. We do it in such a way that there is no opportunity cost to the property owner. They don't have to give up anything. It's the same. It doesn't cost them any more than keeping the building empty. They don't necessarily make anything out of it. They do get indirect benefits. And we use license agreements rather than leases, which is very technical, but it basically means that we're not making a claim on the property and we're not triggering a lot of obligations on the property owner's part that we would if we had a lease. Yeah, so that's basically how we've gone about it. I pressed the wrong button. As I said, more than 50 initiatives have opened in Newcastle since we started. There are many new commercial tenants have started to move into that area. The foot traffic has increased massively. You could not possibly take a photo like that one that I showed you earlier in that strip again. The vandalism has dropped. We have created a whole new narrative or story of Newcastle. People are interested in it for new reasons. People are curious about it. They want to come there again. We've made it distinctive. It's much safer. There's a lot more people around. It's passive surveillance improves the level of violence. It improves the level of vandalism, etc. And we are growing the long-term value of the city, not just immediate financial returns, but in all the meanings of the word value. The value of the city is growing quite substantially. We are starting to work with more property owners. We're taking on more complex sites, and we've got about more than 100 proposals that are worth doing that we're sitting on at the moment, just gradually working through with property owners to find new spaces that we can put them into. I guess the question I want to ask all you guys tonight, something to think about is, back to this idea of empty spaces and lost opportunities. What are Cairns' lost opportunities? I walked around today. Wasn't too hard for me to find a bunch of empty spaces in the city of Cairns. As a tourist, as someone who doesn't know Cairns well, coming here for the second time, it's not a good look. If you treat every single one of these spaces as a lost opportunity to get something started, make something happen, make these spaces interesting rather than disappointing to people who come by, I think there's a whole set of opportunities here.